Welcome to Pratibha Tutorials. Please take a moment and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.
Dear students, in this video we will learn about the real numbers and related concepts. Real numbers may be classified into rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational numbers are those numbers which may be represented in P upon Q form, where P and Q are co-prime integers and Q is not equal to 0. So rational numbers are those which are represented in P upon Q form, where P and Q are co-prime integers, meaning these do not have any common factor other than 1. There is one more definition for rational numbers. Those numbers which have either terminating decimals or non-terminating but repeating decimals. Such numbers are called rational numbers. For example, 1 upon 2 is equal to 0.5, 1 upon 4 is equal to 0.25. So these have a terminating decimal, but 1 upon 3, that is equal to 0.333 or 0.3 bar is non-terminating but repeating decimal. The same digit 3 is repeated continuously and the division is never ending. We can take another example. 1 upon 7 is equal to 0.142857, and the same set repeats 14287, or we can say 0.142857. The same set of digits repeat and this division is never terminated. Such numbers are called rational numbers. So these have non-terminating but repeating decimals. These have terminating decimals and these have non-terminating but repeating decimal. So either a single digit or group of digits may repeat continuously and the division is never complete. Next is irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are those numbers which have neither terminating nor repeating decimals. So irrational numbers are neither terminating nor repeating decimals. Example 0.10 or 0.01001001 or like that. Besides these, root 2, root 5, root 6, root 11, root 45, such numbers are also irrational numbers, because if we take the square root of these numbers, we find that these are neither terminating nor repeating. Thus we can say such numbers are irrational numbers. Now we discuss another concept, that is divisibility. A number, if A and B are integers, then A divides B only if there exists an integer C such that B is equal to AC. If A and B are integers and A divides B, then there must be an integer C such that B is equal to AC. So this is the divisor, A is divisor, B is the dividend, and C is another integer, such that product of the divisor and this C should be equal to this dividend. For example, 2 divides 8 because there is an integer C is equal to 4 such that 8 is equal to 2 into 4. So 8, B is 8, A is 2 and C is 4. Thus we can say 2 divides 8. For divisibility, the division should be complete so that remainder is 0. There are some properties of divisibility. Plus minus 1 divides every integer. 0 is divisible by any non-zero integer. Zero never divides any integer. If A divides B, then A divides minus B, and if B divides A, then B divides minus A. Also, if A divides B and B divides A, then A is equal to B. Next is Euclid's division lemma. What is the meaning of lemma? Lemma is a proven statement which do not require any proof, and Euclid's division lemma is restatement of the long division method. According to it, dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. This is the long division method, in which dividend, for example, if we take say 19 divided by 2, this 19 is dividend, 2 is divisor, 9 is quotient, and 1 is remainder. So this is restatement of the long division method. According to Euclid's division lemma, if A and B are positive integers, then there exists unique Q and R such that A is equal to B Q plus R, where R is greater than equal to 0 but less than B. Thus, according to Euclid division lemma, if A and B are positive integers, then there exists unique Q and R such that A is equal to BQ plus R. In order to prove it, we use the method of contradiction. In this method of contradiction, we suppose opposite to whatever is to be proved. Q and R are unique, but we suppose that Q and R are not unique. Suppose Q and R are not unique, then there must be Q1 and R1, then there must be Q1 and R1 such that A is equal to B Q1 plus R1, where R1 is greater than equal to 0 and less than B. So if Q and R are not unique, then there must be some other values of Q1 and R1 which must satisfy this Euclid's division lemma. So A is equal to BQ1 plus R1. From 1 and 2, A is equal to BQ plus R and A is equal to BQ1 plus R1. From 1 and 2, BQ plus R is equal to BQ1 plus R1, because both are equal to A, which implies R minus R1 is equal to, by transposing and taking B common, Q1 minus Q. It implies B divides R minus R1. It further implies that R minus R1 is equal to 0, because R minus R1 is remainder. So B divides some, this is, then remainder must be 0. It further implies that R is equal to R1. Now R is equal to R1 implies A minus R is equal to A minus R1. We subtract R and R1, which are equal quantities, from A. Therefore, A minus R should be equal to A minus R1, but A minus R, by transposing R in LHS, we get A minus R, which is equal to BQ. So this is BQ is equal to A minus R1 is equal to BQ1, which implies Q is equal to Q1. Now we see, we first obtained R is equal to R1. It means R and R1 are not different. These are unique. And here we obtain Q is equal to Q1. It means Q and Q1 can't be different. These are also unique. So our supposition that Q and R are not unique is contradicted and proved to be wrong. And if these are not unique, then Q and R must be unique. So by contradiction we can prove that if A and B are positive integers, then there exists unique Q and R such that A is equal to BQ plus R.